to my YouTube channel. Today I am kind of doing a sad job on the farm. A while back I posted some videos, a YouTube channel documenting a flash flood that occurred on our farm, and today I am sitting in that field where the crops, the soybeans, were lost. So what you're seeing behind me is the manure spreader being loaded with all of the debris from the flood and mostly corn stalks. This was a no-till field, so all those corn stalks were in the field from last year's season, and then we planted the soybeans right into it. But unfortunately, the flood ruined all of the soybeans, killed them all, and then also pushed all of the corn stalks into one part of the field. So I'm going to be using the manure spreader behind me to evenly distribute the corn stalks throughout this field. This is just to even it out as we go to plant our cover crops a little early this year, because we are not going to be getting a soybean harvest. We missed our replant date. This field was too wet to get into to replant, these acres were lost, so they will be claimed on insurance, have to deal with all of that, and then we have to now deal with the damages of the flood. So spreading corn stalks to get the organic material spread evenly throughout this field again, and then going in and replanting, going in and planting cover crops for the winter time. So 2024, there will be no crops pulled out of these acres here, but we are setting it up for our 2025 season. So step one is going to be spreading these corn stalks. We unfortunately lost dozens of acres of soybeans due to that flash flood. In my YouTube video that documented the flash flood, I was able to show us fixing the levee on our creek that broke and flooded into this. However, a few days later we got a crazy downpour of rain and ended up losing the levee again and losing this crop. So it was pretty disappointing. These soybeans were looking super good, but not in the cards for us. We had a lot of rain, and unfortunately it ended up being too much rain. Behind me I have one of my farm hands loaded me up with the corn stalks, and he is not super happy that I'm recording this YouTube video because it's really slowing things down. But over there's a pile being stacked up in the meantime while he is waiting on me. So this is going to take quite some time to spread, and all of the corn stalks that we do not get spread throughout this field, we are going to just put in a manure pile and turn it into compost. Really don't want this organic material to go to waste. I am very glad that this was a no-till field, even though these corn stalks washed away. I would say like 25% of the corn stalks did not wash away, which really held the integrity of our field. The topsoil runoff was pretty minimal for as aggressive of a flood we had. So that's just another example of the benefits of no-till farming. It is working super well for us, and I think we're going to continue the practice. And yeah, on to 2025 for this section of the soybean field. Thankfully, the rest of our soybeans are looking good. We just finished spraying those, and all good. Gotta get moving. I don't think I've brought it up, but I've officially hit 50,000 subscribers on my main YouTube channel. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed or watched or liked or commented on any of my videos. I started YouTube, I think in March, and so I've been doing it a couple months now, and I really enjoyed it. I have been on Instagram and TikTok for a long time, but YouTube, I don't know. It's much more chill. The longer form videos, I don't feel as much pressure to go viral, and I can just kind of show little bits of my life that might not be very interesting on TikTok or Instagram, but on YouTube, they're performing really well. So thank you to everyone who has watched, or I don't know. Thank you to everyone. So YouTube's been going well, and I'm planning on continuing. So the spreading of the corn stalks is pretty much phase one of getting this field back into production for next year. The next phase after we get the organic material spread and get all the trees that are down that got washed into the field, we can drill in some cover crops. I have not talked to my agronomist yet to solidify what cover crop we're going to be doing this winter, but that is going to be phase number 2, and I think we're going to do that later this week, drilling that in. And then after we get done with our cover crop, this field will basically just sit and wait until next year for the springtime when that cover crop has to be sprayed, and then we're going to plant it back into production, and we're going to be planting it into corn. You can see behind me the soybeans that are still alive, and then you can see where I'm driving right now, the aftermath of the flood where the soybeans died. Basically what happened is this is kind of a low spot in the field, so the soybeans that were here got flooded with water, but then the water did not adequately drain, and so since the water did not drain, these soybeans sat underwater too long and unfortunately died. We were hoping that the drainage of this field would suffice, but it did not. This is one of our fields that we do not have tiled, so the drainage here is not great. We have some culverts, but unfortunately that did not work this time. The flood was just too severe. So there's my cue to go ahead and take off. I was in previously, where I was spreading the corn stalk weeds that were the result of that little flash flood we had. So I am currently, as you can see behind me, pulling a drill, and I am drilling in, aka planting, cover crops. So right now, since this field was flooded after our insurance replant date, that means we were unable to replant soybeans back into this field. I am preparing this field for next year, and so I am getting cover crops in here to kind of bring back organic material into this flood ground. So behind me in the drill there are, what are we doing? We're doing not rye, we're doing oats and turnips. So the oats, the reason that I'm planting that instead of rye, which is my usual cover crop, is because oats have a winter kill off. So the cover crops are going to get planted, and then they are going to be killed off in the winter instead of me having to spray them in the spring. Whereas if I would have done rye, I was unsure, kind of hitting a wet spot in the field. So when I hit a wet spot in the field, because tractors are diesel, speed is not my friend, so I'm slowing down so I don't bury this machine. It's pretty wet, so I'm going to pick up my planter and just kind of drive through this. Slow and steady so I don't get stuck. Hopefully I don't get stuck. We're not moving very fast. She's making it through. Hold on, let me show you. Oh, keep pushing, girl. Okay, so I had to stop recording. I'll show you what happened. So as soon as I hit that thick mud, I locked my rear wheels together, and then I dropped my RPMs and I was going to just crawl out of the mud. But if you can see in this clip here, my tire is flat, so I think that's why I got stuck in the mud to begin with. And now I am limping my way to a road to fix this tire. So I think I got 7.89 acres of cover crops planted. Very slow start, and now I have another project in front of me. It's never smooth going. I think anything I do, there's always hiccups in the road. As a farmer, I feel like 90% of my job is just checking and changing tires. If you're a farmer and you relate to that statement, comment down below, because if it's not something wrong with the tractor, it's something wrong with the tires. But I guess I can continue explaining the cover crops that I'm doing as I'm limping my way to the road. So the cover crops I'm doing, like I said, are oats and turnips. The oats are going to die off in the winter. Those are going to add back organic material. And then turnips, just a different cover crop that's going to also add organic material, but mostly used for helping with compaction. The first bit of planting that I did were actually old soybeans. So we had some soybeans left from planting that my agronomist said that I could just throw in the field. Honestly, I was mostly doing it for the deer. We do a lot of hunting down here in this part of this field, so I was like, well, if I'm going to use soybeans as a cover crop, might as well feed the wildlife. I just looked at my watch and realized it is 4:30 and the tire shop near us closes at 5. So I need to pop this tire off, run it in, get it fixed, and then come back out here. Otherwise I'm done for the day. And I really thought I'd be nailing in some cover crops throughout the whole evening. So Take 2, I'm trying to make a ramp. I found a rock to use as a ramp. Great success going in reverse. Worked well. So I have the good tire that's not flat ramped up. So now I can take off the flat tire. I'm going to tighten it in a star pattern. We are back in action. I went and got that tire changed, got a new tire thrown on the drill, and we are moving along. So right now I think I'm getting about 29 acres per hour. I got about 3 hours of daylight left, so we'll get a few acres in. Not super fast, but we're moving along. The field around me, you're probably thinking that I am planting my cover crop into soybeans. However, I'm very sad to say that these are not soybeans I'm planting into, it is weeds. So the soybeans were underwater a few weeks ago, had to wait for the field to dry up, and obviously you can see some parts of the field are not completely dried up. But now that they are dry, we are planting cover crop and then spraying these weeds. Actually, I have a farmhand right now in the sprayer just to my right, spraying, and just trying to get this field back in order. Found myself back in the mud, so going super slow. And I'll show you my farmhand spraying. I honestly thought the fields were going to be a lot drier than they currently are, but I guess that's just how it goes. I have Green Star going. When I get to the end of the row, I'm picking up the drill and making my turn. I'm doing quite a bit of overlap on my planting since it's just cover crops. Someone comment that they wanted to see my hair in pigtails, so I figured, well, I got the auto steer, might as well braid my hair into some cute little pigtails. Comes along and I start wearing my hair down more. It's kind of hot out, so I like to wear my hair up in a ponytail and a baseball cap. But when fall comes and I wear my hair down more, I think I'll try out with the pigtails more often. Coming up to an end of the row, so I'll wait for the next one. Farmhand spraying behind me, trying to play chicken. He's waving his hands at me. the real perk of auto steer. Usually I watch Netflix or catch up on some work on my phone while I'm doing easy things like planting cover crops. But another useful, oh, bumpy right here. Cute. Like a little cowboy hat on. I can get into it. Well, I am recording this video on my phone and my battery is about to die, so I think that will be all for this YouTube video. Thank you so much for following me along as I do a little bit of repair on this flooded out soybean field, and please subscribe, like, comment down below. I'm so excited that over 50,000 of you have decided to subscribe and follow along with my farming journey, and I can't wait to bring you more videos. So, bye!